Today we are going to be using a simple stencil to make a beautiful lion piece. I've received so many requests to make a much easier version of my previous lion, so here it is. Swiping is one of my absolute favorite acrylic techniques. It's super satisfying and it's going to help us create the mane of our kitty. Let me show you how to do it. As I mentioned in my latest video, the crazy t-shirt one, you have to see it. Even according to my standards, it was something insane. As I mentioned then, I ordered some frisket paper and I was going to show you an easier version of the lion because so many of you were asking for it. So here it is, it's just arrived. I have never used this particular one before, so I'm really curious. Oh, and it's matte. It's pretty small. So on this frisket paper, I am going to sketch an easy stencil. As usual, I am sketching my lion on a tracing paper, trying to get what I want. I looked at various images online. You can find a royalty-free image you could copy. That's probably the easiest way. I like adapting mine slightly. These sections I want to be black, so maybe it's going to be easier if I actually cover them with black. I'm really trying to make it as simple as possible. We just do the outline, but I'm adding absolutely minimal amount of detail here. This is the end of my canvas. I kind of have to decide how is the rest of the mane going. Don't want it to touch the end of the canvas, so this was super quick random, but I think I'll leave it like this. Okay, now I realized, yes, it doesn't fit in. I will attach the second part, we'll fix it later. Transfer time. You can draw over with a pencil. Some people prefer that. I personally don't. I'm peeling it off. And now, my lovelies, you're probably like, how is she going to cut all those bits out? No, 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 no. I'm going to make it the super easy way. At this stage, I am only cutting the outline, just around. Decided to ignore the details. One more thing, the glossy frisket paper is easy to peel off today. From this one I peeled off a bit of frisket itself, but it's all right. It will not affect what I'm doing at all. Okay, so all I want is to cut the inside. We need to take the inside out. It sounds wrong, it sounds wrong. Since we have an art lesson here, what we want now, we want to preserve the negative space, so the outside of the lion. I'm changing these as I go. This is the outside that I am going to preserve. I'm also going to keep this, so we're keeping this for the face later. This is the canvas we'll be working on. That's the template. So now I have to carefully stick it down. I have to be careful now. Put this very gently. Can be peeled off easily. So now very gently. See? Easy. I am sticking it all down. It seems to be well stuck. That's good. To attach this missing section, I can stick it here. I do have the colors from the lion video, of course, so you see how good it is to keep your colors, the leftovers, because you never know, even though I have such small samples. So we've got all the browns. For those of you who haven't watched the lion, burnt umber, burnt sienna, those two, bronze, Naples yellow, gold. Majority of them are tinted with white. I wrote silicone on this one. So that's a bit of brown with silicone. Gold should sell without anything. That's what usually happens. I've got quite a lot here. That's a perfect moment to tell all my new lovely followers what's inside. One part of paint. To this one I actually added 2 parts of Floetrol and 1 part of my pouring medium, which is PVA glue and water. Runs off nicely with a little build-up. And all of them are the same. This is really important, that the consistencies are the same. And now I am cutting. You can cut any napkin, toilet paper. Now tissue would be too thin. Some people swipe with plastic sheets. Yeah, that works well as well. This looks white, but it's beige. It's a little bit of burnt umber here. So this part I'm going to put on his beard and here on the front of the nose. In the end, I am adding a little bit of silicone to gold as well. I had so much gold that I put it separately. I like using coconut hair serum, not coconut oil. It smells really nice. This color looked really good on the lion, the people's yellow. Somehow it looked really nice. I will be swiping in the direction of those strands. That's why I'm positioning them this way. Once I swipe, the colors will really blend in nicely. Now, usually I would swipe from one edge with one color, but because I do want multicolored sections, I am going to position those where I want them. Okay, I'm starting with the chin. That's nice. I am going to put some more of the dark color. Now we've got a lot of yellow. Wow, this is so pretty. Look at this. Oh, that's gorgeous. You can now get merch with my previous lion piece. If you check out the link in the comments and description to get t-shirts, various accessories and prints with the lion on it. This particular one will be soon available as well. The best part, there's no mess. I'm leaving it to dry. This is honestly the longest I've waited to peel. That means half a day. It's still very wet in the middle, you can see. Only the edges are slightly dry. That's really well stuck, I must admit. So if you are impatient, I'm doing it my way, my silly way. Yeah, I suggest removing very carefully and then don't drop it. If you're seeing anything green underneath, I'll explain to you why in a minute. I had a green canvas. It was painted green before, then I repainted black quickly, so that's why we can see the bottom color peeling, but I'm going to fix those edges anyway. Also, when it's slightly wet, it's easier to remove imperfections, so that's quite a weak reason, but maybe. 2 days later, this is dry and I fixed some of the edges. Didn't really fix it, just went around with black, as you can see. We've got 2 options and you choose the one that you prefer. So this is the template I cut out. What we need is some features. Option number 1, I could cut out every black section with a craft tool, position it on the lion and paint wherever each cutout is. Or spray paint, that will be even quicker. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, again we position the features here, press down, the pencil lead will transfer, you know that by now because I always do it, and then just paint over. As you can imagine, I prefer having control with my brush, so I'm going to do the second. Okay, I'm going to tape it first. It's only for it not to move. This was rather thick because we've got 2 layers, so let's see how it transferred. Oh, absolutely fine. Maybe I'll start with dark brown. I can always darken it later. I am going to use burnt umber. That's the darkest brown I have. And a very small brush, especially for the edges. if there is some leftover pencil, once it's dry, we can rub it off. Okay, so I will not bore you with this. I am going to go over all the lines. Be back once they are done. At the moment, I am going to add some darker strands in the places that I think would benefit from it. So I will be following some of the lines I've already made. And of course I can decide whether I want them thicker or not. I might do some here. Doing some brown, some black. Absolutely fine. Now, no worries, I'm not going to paint properly anything. I want a little bit of a shadow in the ear and behind his jaw, because they are a little bit lost at the moment. You see, that's really not much. Kind of makes the ear more pronounced. Okay, so a couple of touches wherever you think, oh, by the way, I am going to do highlights on the strands like I did with the dark ones in a minute. I wonder how would you like me to do the eye? I think I'm going to give him the same color eye. Don't know, maybe more brown. They should be like amber brown, perhaps. No, it's supposed to be super simple. I think I'll have to add the black dot, otherwise it will look awkward, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness, he looks strange. Okay, what do you think? Some light on his nose. This part of the mouth should be darker. All I'm doing is touching the stencil in some places. Somebody should tell me to stop, because otherwise I'll keep adding and adding, because as I said, I like this stage. Oh, by the way, I've seen the first lion in response to the one with the crown. It was amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for when you post on social media for giving me credit for the idea. I think that's an awesome thing to do. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm putting so much love and effort into everything that I do that I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. The only thing I'm going to do, I couldn't leave him on black. I am super tempted, forgive me, but I'm super tempted to do this part lighter because of his face. And I'm thinking, what if I start blending a bit of brown here, getting to the lighter color. So this is my brown and black. I thought it's going to be difficult, but it's actually super easy. Touching it up. I might use this one now. I do want some gold as well. Let's see if I like it. The worst case scenario, I always go back to black because it kind of turns into this greeny shadow. That's why I'm mixing brown. I was going to make it lighter from one end and darker to the other, but now I'm thinking I kind of like just the glow around his face, and then everything will go into dark. So as usual, rethinking my process. I'm using this dark gold, kind of rustic looking gold. I want his face to glow. Oh, that's bronze. Oh, bronze will look nice as well. Ah, bronze covers better. Look at this. It happened by accident, but I don't mind. So now we're blending. I very rarely use crystal clear varnish, but I'm going to use it on the lion. I think it will look nice with this. I've got a soft brush. And I'm going to apply thin coat. It's better to apply one thin coat and then come back after perhaps 2 hours. It's been a while I've done a stencil like this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought of it in the comments, and as always, consider checking out my Patreon for more content that supports the channel, and my website where you can own this original piece. I also wanted to let you all know that I will be going away for Easter, so I'll be taking 2 weeks off. So I'll see you on the 13th of April. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.